The reason you need an iron filter is you're going to notice a reddish orange stains in the toilet that you use most often, the shower you use most often, and the fixtures. And it will stain laundry a reddish brown color as well. A lot of companies try to solve iron problems with a water softener, which is the wrong way to do it. The best way that we have found to remove iron from your water supply, your well water supply, is the 2510 AIO Katalox Light filter. It is unsurpassed in performance. While iron itself is not really a toxic chemical, iron at certain levels of say 3 parts per million and above can cause gastrointestinal issues. There's 3 different types of iron found in well water. There's clear water iron that you can't see and usually oxidizes over a couple of days after say sits in your toilet tank for a while or your toilet bowl. There's red water iron, and when you turn the cold water faucet on, it comes out with a reddish tinge to it. And there's also iron bacteria. Now, iron bacteria actually feeds on iron and discharges a red slimy substance, and you'll usually see that in your toilet tank, and it also makes a rotten egg type odor, so you usually notice that right away. The problem with clear water iron is people don't see it right away. People turn their faucet on and they think, oh, everything's fine. I don't see any iron staining or anything like that. But what happens is when iron hits the air and oxidizes, it precipitates out and starts to leave a reddish brown stain. Red water iron is already precipitated out into the aquifer. So when you turn your or use your well water, it comes out of the faucet with a reddish tinge, and it's a little bit harder to treat. Our 2510 AIO Katalox Light filter has no issues treating red water iron. Iron bacteria is a little bit different than red water or clear water iron in the fact that if the actual bacteria feeds on iron in the water and discharges a red slimy substance, which is really hard to remove. Our Katalox Light filter can handle that based on customer feedback. A lot of our customers put that in on iron bacteria because they didn't want to use chemical injection, and it actually worked like a champ. Before you make any type of purchase for any type of water treatment system, especially an iron filter, you want to get your water tested. You want to take all the guesswork out and call a local water testing lab because that's going to give you the most accurate results you can get. Before buying an iron filter and getting your water tested, there's multiple things you need to test for other than the iron. You need to test the pH level. You need to test for manganese. You need to test for hardness in the water because you have to compensate hardness as iron if you're going to install a water softener. And you want to test for sulfur as well, even if you don't notice it, because a lot of times once you remove iron from the water, it can unmask the sulfur odor in the water as well, and you want to make sure you tackle that issue at the same time. Iron has an adverse effect on resin, the resin beads, the filter media inside a water softener. It actually will shorten the life of the resin over a period of time. If you're using your water softener to treat low levels of iron, a lot of times the industry recommends you use salt with iron out in it or an iron out dispenser inside the salt tank to eliminate any fouling of the resin bed. Unfortunately, there is no cheap way to remove iron from your water supply. A lot of people try using a cartridge filter mounted on the wall with, say, a 5-micron cartridge inside, and all that's going to do is clog over time and cut off the water pressure in your house. And then you're going to have to go down, change it or clean it out, and you're going to have to eventually end up buying the right water filtration system, say an iron filter, to remove the iron from the water supply in your home. And typically, you're going to spend, if you just need the iron filter by itself and nothing else, no neutralizer, no softener, the 2.5 cubic foot system that you see here is $21.95 shipped. And that includes the media, the bypass valve, the valve, everything. The only thing you need to supply is the installation. Now, some people ask me, what's air injection or oxidation system that you use to oxidize iron out of the water? Now, there's different types of systems in the industry. Different companies use different products. Our system, the 2510 AIO unit, what it actually does is the valve pulls in air through a Venturi nozzle and creates an air pocket in the top of the tank. And what that air pocket does is it will precipitate the iron out before it even reaches the Katalox Light media. So it's almost like having 2 filters in one. Now, a lot of people ask me, can I remove iron, sulfur, and manganese with 1 unit instead of having multiple units in the house? And the answer is yes. Our 2510 AIO air injection system will remove high levels of iron, sulfur, and manganese all through 1 tank, and at the same time help raise the pH and bring it close to 8, which is recommended to properly remove those elements from the water. I get asked this question all the time. Should I use a chemical injection system or a filter tank to remove iron from my water? Now, our company doesn't recommend or use chlorine injection or ozone injection. We just don't feel it works as well as our Katalox Light filter. For the past 15 years, we've used the 2510 AIO air injection protection and Katalox Light filter above and beyond everything else that we've tried. We've actually discontinued all of our other iron filter treatment systems and used the 2510 AIO with Katalox Light exclusively. When you're searching for an iron filter, you're going to see names like Iron Breaker, Iron Curtain, all kinds of crazy stuff within the industry, and they're just putting a name on it. A lot of times they're using berm filter, or Phylox, Pyrolox, or manganese green sand, and they just put a fancy name on it. The best thing to do is do your research and go through all the different options that the industry has to offer as far as iron filtration removal. Now, a lot of people ask me, they'll call and say, I only have 5 gallons a minute coming out of my well tank into my house. What size iron filter should I use? Typically, you can use any of the sizes. We have 1.5, 2.0, or 2.5. If you don't have enough flow to backwash it correctly, you're going to have to backwash it longer. Instead of the standard 14 minutes, you might have to backwash it for 20 to 25 minutes. At 5 gallons a minute, the 1.5 system is what we usually would recommend, but for larger homes, that may not be enough capacity. So if you move up to the 2.5 and you only have, say, 5 to 7 gallons per minute flow rate, you're going to have to backwash the system for a longer period of time to make sure the bed's clean. The average lifespan of an iron filter depends on what model you have and what manufacturer you get it from. Now, here's the beauty of the 2510 AIO Katalox Light system. There's no annual maintenance. About every 6 to 8 years, you're going to take the tank outside, dump it out, completely clean the old Katalox Light media out, and rebed it with new Katalox Light media and put it back into operation for another 6 to 8 years. So that's pretty amazing. The tank itself could last 40 or 50 years. The valve, 10 to 15 years before it might need some minor maintenance. And the Katalox Light media itself typically lasts about 6 to 8 years. Me personally, if it was me and I had, say, 5 parts per million of iron in the house and my pH was 5.5, I'd probably put the 2510 AIO 2.5 cubic foot Katalox Light system in first, followed by a 2.5 cubic foot non-backwashing acid neutralizer. And the reason I'm going to put the neutralizer after the iron filter, I'm going to take all of that iron out of the water before I treat the pH, so I don't have to worry about the neutralizer being fouled. And then for good drinking water throughout the entire house, I'm going to follow that up with a 2.5 cubic foot carbon filter as well, and a Viqua VH410 UV light, because I'm a fanatic about the bacteria being in the water. And that's what I would do. Now, if you've just gotten your water tested and you're not sure what system to buy and you don't really understand the results that you're looking at, you can send them to me by text at 443-277-2204, or you can email them to us at support@midatlanticwater.net. I'll take a look at it, get right back to you, talk to you about it on the telephone, and we'll size the perfect system for your home.